Okay, today I'm going to show you how I elite run Cayo Perico by myself on hard mode ever since the new update. Now the guards can see dead bodies. We're going to approach the main dock with the long fin, and we're going to enter the compound through the drainage tunnel. Everything else is really up to you. For the weapon loadout, I typically go with either marksman or conspirator, and no matter what you choose, always put suppressors on your weapons. There are two possible loot spawn locations at both the main dock and the airstrip. At the main dock, there's one to the north of the dock and one to the south of the dock. At the airstrip, there's one in a shack to the southeast, and there are two in the hangar to the north of the airstrip. I'm going to show you how to do this no matter where your secondary loot spawns. If you have loot at the main dock and at the airstrip, go to the main dock first. Now, since our targets are split between the main dock and the airstrip, we're going to head to the main dock first. Our loot's at the northern location, so we're going to pull right up to this wall here and jump onto the land from the boat. You can hop up from the water if you fall in, but it wastes a little bit of time, so try to do it straight from the boat. Now run straight between these buildings and head towards this tower, but watch out for that camera's cone of vision. Take out the guard first, and then take out the camera. It's very important that you take out the guard first, because he will hear you shoot the camera if you don't. Then we're going to wait for the vehicle that patrols around that building to clear out and head towards our secondary loot. I wasted some time on this part, and you can do it a little bit faster than I originally did. So right after you shoot the camera, run out here and wait for the car to pass by your secondary loot, and as soon as that car is passed, you can run right up behind it and move on to the coke. Keep an eye on your minimap the entire time you're doing this heist. I watch the minimap almost as much as I'm watching the regular screen to make sure that I'm staying out of vision cones. Now we have to take the extra time to kill that guard and shoot the camera beneath him, because the camera can actually see through the walls on this building. If you watch the minimap, you'll see it spot me.
You are fake news.
I was behind the wall, the camera couldn't see me, I couldn't see the camera, but it was still able to detect me, so you've got to take out that camera. Now we're just going to head straight back to the boat and gun it for the airstrip.
Hey! Where are you going?
You can run straight up the dirt road here, you don't have to run up the docks. This is a really time-consuming secondary loot location, so I usually avoid it, which is why I'm very bad at it. I'm unpracticed. But I wanted to prove that this method works no matter how shitty your split is, so here we go. Epic boat driving here, by the way. Don't mention it. I don't like to brag. I don't like to toot my own horn. But, beep beep. Okay, if you have to grab any loot at the Southeastern shack at the airstrip, this is how we're going to do that. First, give the guy by the power station on your right a wide berth so that he doesn't see you. Then you're going to sneak up to this guy on the balcony and shoot him, because if you don't, he can see through the wall of the shack. Don't worry about climbing up on the roof, it's a waste of time. Just hop the wall by the camera and move towards your drugs. Grab your drugs, and then before the camera turns back around, run back to the wall exactly where you came in, hop on out, and then either head to the hangar or head back to your boat, depending on where you've got to go next. Now for the hangar, you're either going to continue from there, or if you're going straight from your boat, take this route, same start as the last one, give that guy by the power station a wide berth, and then do the same for this guy by the hangar. We're going to leave him alive because the jeep that comes into the airstrip might see his body if we kill him. We're going to give this guy by the hangar a good amount of space as we sneak up on him, because if you look at the mini-map, you'll see him turn and look over his shoulder really quickly. He can turn around to his right, he can turn all the way around, he might see you if you're too close, so give him space. Now after he does that, it's safe to get right up on him. You can jog behind him, honestly, I was just playing it safe because he turned and spooked me. Okay, once you're in the hangar, if your loot's downstairs, you can run right up to that cage in front of you, burn your way in, and start grabbing. If your loot's upstairs, you're going to have to grab this forklift to your left, go across the hangar, and grab this pallet with the box on it.
What a fucking dumbass!
Make sure the prongs are actually in the pallet before you start lifting, then you're going to lift it a little bit, back up, lift it all the way up, and very carefully put it up to the cage. Very carefully. Okay? I'll show you why in a second. Then you're going to climb up onto the forklift, hop up on this box, and climb over the cage. Now it's very important that you carefully put the box up to the cage, because if you don't, this might happen.
Oh, shit!
And nobody wants that. You can glitch your way through the fence if that happens, or you can glitch your way to standing on the very top of the forklift's lifting bit and hop the cage from that, but it takes a lot of time, so you don't want that. Nobody wants that. On the list of things you hate to see, that would be right up there at the very top. After you've grabbed your loot, just hop on out and head towards the door. It's best to leave the hangar right behind that guy so that you have as much time as possible before he turns around and might see you running across the airstrip. Give the guy by the power station a lot of space again. I got a little bit close for comfort, and when you get into your boat, try to hop in the front so he actually climbs on like a normal human being instead of flopping into the back like a moron. Now, if you have secondary loot at the southern spawn location at the main dock, here's how we're going to get there. You're going to pull up to the shore right here, and then you're going to move to the right. I ran up the road for a second because I thought it might save me some time, but just go right the entire time through the grass and into the trees. Watch out for the trees. Once you get to the shack, watch out for the camera on your left, and once you sneak past it, move up to the cage. Once you're at the cage, be careful because there's a guard that moves back and forth between this building and a building a little bit farther up the road. I don't know if he can see you or if he can hear you, but either way he can detect you while you're either collecting your loot or moving through that cage while he's too close, so be careful. Now, if you're going up to the airstrip or if you're going down to the compound from here, you're going to go back to the boat the exact same way we came in. But if you're going to the other spawn location at the main dock, you're going to make a right outside of the shack and then head towards this dock. Once you get to the end of this dock, you're going to jump into the water to avoid the guards on your right. Then you're going to run up this ramp and move on to the loot. Be careful not to overshoot the tunnel. My only advice for the cutting torch is not to take it too fast. Just try not to jerk the left stick too hard in any direction. Try to put a rebreather on before you start cutting. It doesn't matter. You can't drown while you're cutting, but just put on a rebreather while you're in the water. I forgot until I started drowning after I cut that open.
Let's go.
Okay, now that we're inside, we're going to go up these stairs that are right in front of us and make a left. You're going to run through this pathway and jump up the wall right in front of you. Then you're going to go up these stairs to your left and go down these stairs right in front of you and hop up this wall to your right. Then you're going to go up this short staircase and make sure that this guy at the top of these stairs isn't looking at you before you head left. Then you go up those stairs and you can run right past him. Then you run right past this guy and up these stairs to trigger the guy at the very top of the stairs to come downstairs as quickly as possible. Then we're going to take cover on this wall and wait for him to come downstairs. Now that he's downstairs, we can slip right past him and move up towards the office. Once you're in the office, check the safe and grab your extra cash. It should be 50,000 to 100,000. We got 84. Not bad. I'll try to explain the fingerprint cloner as best as possible. If you're scrolling left to right from option number 1, the very top row is option number 1. Now when you go down to row number 2, if you start on the first piece of the thumbprint, number 1, and go 1 to the right, that is now the correct option for row number 2. So you can just scroll through each piece from the first piece, 1 through 8. Starting at the top, don't scroll at all, that's number 1. 1. Go down to the second row, 1, 2. Third row, 1, 2, 3. Super simple. Oh man, I can't wait to do this with the Panther. Give me another special event. Give us a special event where we can get the best loot item more than once per fucking year. Now that we're at the main target, we're going to use our old plasma cutter to cut through. Hold the trigger down almost all the way, if not all the way, and get it all the way up to almost overheating, as close to overheating as possible. You're going to do that 3 times, and then on your 4th try, it should cut through about halfway through. There we go. Good old pink diamond. I was so happy when I got the loot combination for this run. I got the worst possible spawn locations along with the highest value target. Totally legitimizes the method, boys. Okay, now that we've got the main target and we're back upstairs, we're gonna go back out the way we came. Down these stairs, and you can run right past this guy, but I usually sneak just to make sure I don't bump into him. And we're gonna run down here and take cover on this wall until the guards pass. This guy up in front of us is about to pass us. And now we can haul ass and I'll run into that guy. Then jump this wall as far left as possible and hop up onto these stairs as far left as possible. Don't go all the way to the bottom of the stairs, because that guard we just ran past can see the bottom of those stairs. Hug the right as you're going up this short staircase and watch out for the guard on your left as well as the guy that patrols the courtyard. Then walk right on up to the gate and you're good to go. No matter how many times we've done this, the guy still tries to teep kick, shoulder check his way through. And then he realizes, oh right, it's the big green button labeled exit in fucking English. The only thing here labeled in English because all of the people here primarily speak Spanish. Fucking idiot. Alright, don't worry about the main docks. Pavel don't know what he's talking about. We're gonna jump into the ocean and swim for it. Now you can jump down and swim out right here, but if you do, you waste a little bit more time swimming. It's quicker to run the extra distance over here to this drop point instead of swimming that extra distance. So we're gonna hop down right here. You don't really take any damage. I think we might have actually taken no damage.
Wow.
And then just swim straight south. Once you hit the water from where we did, you're going to have to swim for about 1.5 minutes and then you'll be fine. Now you want to get underwater to avoid being spotted by Rubio's helicopter if he does come out to sea or if one of the boats go overhead, but don't go too far down because if you do, there's a new bug. That's one of the other ways they nerfed this heist, with a bunch of new bugs. We'll talk about those later. Now if you swim too low, there's a new bug where your rebreather can despawn off your face, and you can't put a new one back on no matter how many you have. So it's a good idea to bring full snacks in case that happens. Or just avoid swimming too low. Try to stay about 20 feet down. Kind of hard to estimate, but you know, 20-ish. Don't swim at the bottom of the ocean. You can spam snacks to survive until the end of the heist because it happens pretty close to the end when that happens, but it's stressful. It freaks me out. I didn't like it. And you know what else I don't like is the other plethora of bugs that they've introduced into this heist now, such as guards and cameras with X-ray vision. That's nice. Bugged out enemies that you can't kill because they infinitely respawn standing in the exact same spot that they were in before you killed them, and they eventually get seen by the jeep that comes to the airstrip. The aforementioned rebreathers. The forklift glitch in the hangar. This isn't specific to the heist, but on Xbox, controllers will just stop being responsive in the game. Your controller will work on the Xbox, you can still open up the dash and go to your home screen and it works just fine. The controller is responsive, but GTA isn't picking up on the controller, so you just have to quit out and you can't do anything to ensure that you save whatever progress you just made, like change your outfit, so you're just kind of fucked. And now when they updated this heist back in December, I didn't disagree with every decision that they made. I think that guards should be able to see dead bodies. I already thought that they could, even though my route proved that that wasn't true. I just didn't know that. But I think that was a good decision. The decisions I disagree with and that I think are extremely scummy, breaking the game in such a manner that it makes it impossible to earn money legitimately in-game as a means of incentivizing purchasing shark cards. I also disagree with their decision to add an increased cooldown to this heist anytime you run it by yourself, as well as an increased cooldown time on high-value targets anytime you get a high-value target. After you do this heist, there's now a cooldown of 3 in-game days, so instead of being a little under an hour to restart the heist, you now have to wait about 2.5 hours. So very often you're not playing the game anymore and you're gonna miss the hard run. Which is also stupid, the fact that you have to reach it within 40 minutes of that cooldown wearing off to play it on hard mode, that's so dumb. And I think they increased the cooldown time for this heist as an intentional means of making it more difficult to hit that hard mode timer so that you can again earn less in-game money, and you are therefore more incentivized to buy shark cards. But yeah, that's Cayo, solo, hard mode, elited. Final time 13:54, total take with the elite challenge bonus 1.8 million. Not bad. I hope the video was helpful. If it was, or if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, comment, smash the bell. Don't just press it, I want you to smash it, and I'll see you next time. The pile of limes in our neighbor's backyard beneath us must be heinous, horrendous, like a compost pile down there. We've ruined their pool.